The European Union has agreed a delay to the Brexit process, postponing Brexit beyond 29 March after hours of negotiations that stretched late into the night in Brussels. The EU rejected May's proposal for a Brexit delay and imposed their own two-part timetable. According to the latest plan, the UK will be offered a delay until 22nd May if MPs approve the withdrawal deal negotiated with the EU next week. If they do not, EU will back a shorter delay until 12th of April. Nearly 100 people are reported to have died after a ferry sank in the Tigris River in the Iraq city of Mosul. The Interior Ministry said most of the victims are women and children. Over 200 people were believed to be on the boards. Now, in fact, the ferry was heading towards a tourist island as part of New Year celebrations. Mosul Civil Defense Agency reportedly said most on board could not swim. An explosion which ripped through a chemical factory in China has killed at least 44 people. The blast, which happened at 11:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time yesterday, blew out windows of hundreds of nearby houses. Chinese state media showed visuals of dark smoke which enveloped the area as the local authorities tried dousing the fire. Several workers trapped in nearby factories and children at a kindergarten near the industrial park were injured in the blast. U.S. President Donald Trump has overturned decades of U.S. policy by saying it is time to recognize Israel's sovereignty over the occupied Golan Heights, which it captured from Syria in 1967. In a tweet, Trump declared that the plateau was of critical strategic and security importance to the state and of Israel and regional stability. Israel annexed the Golan in 1981 in a move not recognized by internationally. Syria, which has sought to regain the region, has so far made no comments on this move. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told U.S. President Donald Trump that he had made a history after Trump said it was time to recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Recognition would mark a major shift in U.S. policy and provide a boost to Netanyahu in the middle of his re-election campaign. Netanyahu has been pressing for the U.S. to recognize its claim to sovereignty over the Golan Heights and raised that possibility in his first White House meeting with Trump in February 2017. Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido has said that intelligence agents have arrested his chief of staff following a pre-dawn raid. He has signaled that Nicolas Maduro may finally be cracking down on the opposition's challenge to his rule. Guaido had invoked the constitution in January to assume interim presidency after declaring Maduro's 2018 re-election a fraud. Over the last 2 months, he has been recognized by dozens of Western nations as the country's legitimate leader. Former Brazilian President Michel Temer has been arrested as part of a massive corruption investigation. Temer, who was in office from 2016 to 2018, is being investigated in several cases. He has consistently denied any wrongdoing. His arrest was considered imminent after he lost his legal protection when he left office. Many politicians and business leaders have been convicted or charged as part of the so-called Operation Car Wash. Paraguay's farmers marched in capital to demand agricultural reforms. The rural population claims to suffer from poor returns on their produce, the concentration of land by big business and poor state services in the countryside. Zimbabwe's death toll from Cyclone Idai jumped to 139 after 2 more bodies were discovered in the country's worst-hit region of Chinnamani district. The bodies of the deceased were brought by helicopter onto dry land, where they were taken away by emergency services. The UN World Food Programme said 200,000 Zimbabweans would need urgent food and aid for 3 months. Aid is finally being distributed to survivors in Mozambique as rescue efforts continue a week after Cyclone Idai ripped through southern Africa. The storm had triggered devastating floods and killed hundreds of people, displacing thousands others. The death toll in Mozambique has risen to 217 and around 15,000 people, many of them very ill, still need to be rescued. In neighboring Zimbabwe, the death toll has jumped to 139, while 200,000 Zimbabweans need urgent food aid for 3 months. At least 4 people have been killed so far in the devastating floods in southern U.S. states as emergency officials keep a wary eye on the Missouri and Mississippi rivers. The floods have left a trail of destruction, causing more than $1 billion in estimated damages to homes, businesses and crops, triggered from the late winter storm last week. The floodwaters inundated large parts of Midwestern farm states of Missouri, Nebraska and Iowa along the Missouri, North America's longest river. The damage toll is likely to rise as receding waters reveal more roads, bridges and homes in a destructed state. An official at the UN Refugee Agency UNHCR met with Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. He said that they were grateful for their host country but longed to return to normalcy and dignity to Myanmar. He also met with the government officials in Bangladesh to review the challenges they are facing. He also discussed finding solutions to the development of conditions for the voluntary, safe and dignified return of refugees to Myanmar. China has said that it had invited European diplomats to visit the restive northwest region of Xinjiang, where Beijing is accused of rights abuses against the ethnic Uyghur Muslims. The dates of the visit and other arrangements were under discussion. According to reports, as many as 1 million Uyghurs and mostly Muslim minorities are being held in internment camps in Xinjiang. Beijing claims that camps are vocational training centers that help steer people who may be drawn to extremism away from terrorism and reintegrate them into society. Six people were killed and 23 injured after 3 blasts rocked a shrine in Kabul yesterday. The incident occurred when thousands had gathered for a ceremony marking the Nowruz festival, the Afghan New Year. The shrine has been hit by terror attacks in the past as well, and yesterday's attack came even after security across the country had been beefed up in view of Nowruz celebrations. The Defense Ministry said in a post on Twitter that 3 rockets were fired at civilian homes and Nowruz gatherings as well. India has decided to boycott the Pakistan National Day celebrations that are scheduled to take place in New Delhi today. This comes after Pakistan High Commissioner invited Hurriyat representatives, in fact, to the event. The Indian High Commission in Pakistan, however, has not taken a decision on whether India will attend the event that will be taking place tomorrow in Islamabad. A decision on this is expected today. India's ruling party BJP has released its first list of candidates for the upcoming general elections. The party has named 184 candidates. The list featured prominent leaders including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Ministers. PM Modi will once again be contesting from Varanasi. BJP President Amit Shah will be contesting from Gandhinagar in his maiden Lok Sabha bid. The current MP of Gandhinagar is none other than BJP patriarch Lal Krishna Advani. The party did not name him in the list. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will contest from Lucknow despite losing to Rahul Gandhi last time round. Textile Minister Smriti Irani will be contesting from Amethi again. Four encounters are currently underway between terrorist and Indian security forces in the Kashmir Valley, including Baramulla, Sopore and Hajin and Shopian. Firing is currently going on from both sides in Shopian. Now, officials say 2 to 3 terrorists are believed to be trapped inside a house in Shopian.